The Winnipeg Jets just sent a serious message holding off the Dallas Stars to force a Game 6 in Dallas. They have a massive opportunity to completely alter this year's playoffs on the backs of key players and their goaltender, Connor Hellebuyck. We have a lot to break down going into Game 6, including the implications and exactly what the Jets need to do to come out victorious later on this episode. Before we get into that, if you're a part of the 89.1% that's watching this and you're not subscribed, yes, I'm talking to you. Go down and hit that free subscribe button. We'll keep you up to date on everything to do around the Winnipeg Jets and the rest of the NHL. But with that, Darius, we can hop straight into the first topic today, where we do know the Jets came off a dominant 4-0 win last night versus the Dallas Stars. This was a series-altering game. We know this was a must-win. They're going into two more must-wins. But overall, we know this team has what it takes to continue. I mean, Connor spoke on this as well. I think it's everyone just taking it up a notch, winning their battles. So I think it's just a combination of everyone having that extra gear, that fight just being dialed in. What is your thoughts on the Jets just continuously trying to force a Game 7 and advance into the Western Conference Finals?
Well, obviously, you knew that the Winnipeg Jets weren't going to go away quietly, but to me, that was a statement game. You get a shutout from Connor Hellebuyck again, and in a playoffs where he struggled, and he's always really struggled in the playoffs. But this was a statement win. This is not, a game where you won 2-1 and you kind of, scraped out of it. No, they came into this game. They said, "We're winning this game. We're taking this game." And it is hard to beat the Jets in Winnipeg. I know Dallas did it in the first game, but it is hard to beat the Jets in Winnipeg, and they were firing on all cylinders in this one. And Mark Scheifele as well, like the center of attention in this one. Obviously, one of the goals he scored off a foot, but I mean, you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. And he was putting it on net, and that's exactly the stuff that the Jets need him to do. So he was a good in this one. Obviously, got that sucker punch, which I'm sure we can kind of dive into as well from Jamie Benn. Don't like that at all. And I do like the Dallas Stars. I have nothing against the Dallas Stars, but that is a dirty and bad play. But Mark Scheifele, I have no idea how Mark Scheifele gets the penalty there as well. Game management, I guess. But yeah, they came out firing on all cylinders, and this to me was a statement game, not just for the entire team, which it was, but Connor Hellebuyck. I mean, like, came up with a great performance, and they needed him too. And maybe this could carry into the next game, because I do look at the playoffs as, each game individually. I think you have to, because anything can happen in the playoffs, but sometimes momentum does carry over game to game. So I have to wonder if he can carry this into Game 6. And if he does, the Jets are hard to beat in a Game 7. Like, this could go either way still. So I do still think that the Stars are favorited. Obviously, they have the series lead, but if this can swing into Game 6, then the Jets have a chance.
The biggest thing with the Jets team, we're finally seeing a fully healthy one. Mark Scheifele was not playing at the end of the St. Louis series. So getting a full healthy team going up against the Dallas Stars, yes, they're down in the series, but this is a team that can do it. We've seen them push their way, scoring a goal with 3 seconds left against the St. Louis Blues. They're going to continue to push. They're not going to give it up. We've seen it from Kyle Connor. We've seen it come from all the players. This is a series they want to get into. Now, listen, yes, like you said, the Jamie Benn situation was quite bad. And let's be honest, there was no reason for Scheifele to get a penalty on the call. This is where the refs could really dictate it, but I don't think they're going to really push this in the favor of the Stars. This is the Jets team, President Trophy winner, a huge fan base. We've seen the turnout for the Winnipeg crowd. I think the NHL wants this to go 7, if anything. But the big question on this team really leads back to, and I know it's a hard subject to talk about, Connor Hellebuyck. With Hellebuyck, you can see on home ice, he has been outstanding. Back-to-back shutouts in 2 games at home. But when you start to look at the away games, 875, 808, 875, he has struggled tremendously on ice that isn't in Winnipeg. And I mean, it doesn't even stop here. You can see it all the way back into the St. Louis series as well, where this was a back and forth. They would lose 2 games in St. Louis, win 2 at home, lose 1 in St. Louis, force into Game 7 where, of course, they won it. But what is your thoughts on just how much this hinges on Connor Hellebuyck being on away ice, where it does seem like he has struggled quite a bit?
Well, it's a good thing that the Jets won the President's Trophy, so they would have home ice through the playoffs, right? That is the one silver lining. But we're headed back to Dallas now for Game 6. You're going to be on the road again. And he was unplayable on the road in the first round. He did not finish a game against the St. Louis Blues in St. Louis. That's not a good sign, especially for a guy that honestly might still win the Vezina Trophy, because it is ranked based off of, or voted off of, the regular season. So not good on the road. He hasn't been good. He's been awful. And even at home, he hasn't been necessarily fantastic. He has 2 shutouts in this series specifically. So it's been better. It's getting better, but I mean, he's not even in the 900s when he doesn't get a shutout, right? So that's not a good place to start. Like, he hasn't been good. That is the fact of the matter. So again, you're feeling good after this one. You won in a convincing fashion. It was a statement game. You get a shutout if you're the goaltender and Connor Hellebuyck. Now moving into game 6, can you kill that narrative and have this swing into game 6, this momentum swing into game 6, and pull out a big win on the road? That is the biggest test, because again, if you come back for 7 in Winnipeg, I can see the Jets winning that. The momentum will be on their side. Connor Hellebuyck plays better at home, although not much better, but a little bit better at home, and has a couple shutouts. And again, it is a story. I think this is the story for this Jets team this year, because it's been so weird. He was great during the regular season, and then in the playoffs, it's just not great. And, it's a good thing they have home ice, but the series hasn't gone the way that they would have wanted, being down 3-1, now down 3-2. We'll see what happens in game 6. He's going to need this is a legacy game for Connor Hellebuyck at this point.
Because, the big thing is we know the star power that is on the other side of the ice. Mikko Rantanen has been lights out. So looking at the team itself, they're going to have to contain a hot team on home ice in the Dallas Stars. We're going to see a lot of big games. And yes, I completely agree. The Hellebuyck is having a legacy game. But I do think a lot of these players are going to have to step up. If Hellebuyck starts to struggle, you're going to have to see these forwards go out and put up insane numbers. 2 goals, 3 goals, even 4. Looking at the lines, they're coming off a 4-0 win. That is a huge statement. Would you make any changes going in, since we've seen the team kind of struggle on away ice compared to home ice? Or would you just not fix what's not broken and just run the exact same lines?
Yeah, no need to change the lineup, because then if you do lose, that's a disaster, and that was a lack of judgment, right? So I wouldn't change anything at this point. Roll with this lineup the way it is. You traded for some of these players for a reason, so continue to do that thing. And in terms of players needing to step up, last, when we were going into game 7 in the first round, I said Cole Perfetti needed to step up. He ended up getting 2 goals. So Nemestikov, I'm going to say it's him this time. Maybe he'll step up bigger. Somebody's got to. But you're right. It's not just Connor Hellebuyck. They're going to need everyone to step up. But I wouldn't make any lineup changes. This is the team that got you to this point. So just keep rolling with what you have.
And the big thing, Darius, I'm going to kind of throw it back to you. With the Dallas Stars, we know how good they've been. We've seen them red hot. We've seen them dominate the first round, win the 3 games versus the Jets. Do you think there is a scare factor towards Dallas, where they're looking at this saying, hey, if we do not close this in game 6, this is a Jets team that has been dominant on home ice? Could you see maybe the Stars playing loose with the puck, trying to force a win so they don't have to try to face Connor Hellebuyck after 2 shutouts on home ice?
I don't see that from the Dallas Stars side of things. I don't think they're scared. I think they look at it as like 2 opportunities to beat the Jets. The Stars know that they're a good team, and I just don't think that they're that scared. Again, it's probably in the back of your head, but even if you go game 7, Pete DeBoer is an animal in game 7. He hasn't lost a game 7. So I think they're comfortable. Again, I think they're going to play loose. I think they're going to, come into game 6 feeling good about themselves still, because they put together a good playoff run here. So again, I think it's going to be a tight game for sure, but Connor Hellebuyck has to stand on his head again. And I do think that the Jets can win this one. I do see it going 7, but I don't think that the Dallas Stars are scared per se, or the pressure's back on them or anything like that.
And it's going to be crazy. I do think a game 7 is going to happen. I think everyone, minus maybe fans that are getting stressed about it, wants to see a game 7. It's the best time of year. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? What do you think the score of game 6 would be? Do you think the Jets are going to force a game 7? Dallas Stars fans, if you're watching this as well, do you think they could close it out in game 6? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, so keep your eyes for that. But I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Darius, and take care.